Hello, everyone, and welcome. Tonight's conversation is with someone who understands that building isn't glamorous. It's patient, uncomfortable, and often quiet. She didn't arrive in Web3 chasing attention. She stayed because she believed in what this space could be. She's lived through the early days, the long winters, the moments where conviction mattered more than confidence. Her path hasn't been linear, and that's what makes it powerful. From traditional finance to crypto, before it had a name, from walking away from expected paths to choosing purpose over approval. V. Powell's represents a kind of leadership that's earned, not announced. Today, as the CEO of World of Women, she's not just stewarding a brand, she's holding a space for culture, for community, and for the idea that art and technology can still mean something when built with care. This is this isn't about hype, cycles, or titles. It's about what keeps you going when it would be easier to stop. It's about staying human in an industry that moves fast and forgets faster. Welcome everybody to Unscripted tonight with the V Powell's V. How are you?
Leslie, hello. I cannot believe the intro. Wow. I mean, I should hire you. This was fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm
You're
great. I'm
welcome.
excited to be here with you.
I am very, very excited. I was telling you earlier, the more that I was doing research on you, that I was learning about you, your trajectory, what you've done, I am like, this woman is not only beautiful, but she is amazing. You've been building in this space for a while. You've been in the crypto space since 2012. And
Yeah.
then, you started off with the Pudgy Penguins, and now you are the CEO of World of Women. V,
Exactly. I mean,
how are
what
you doing it?
it's so funny. It's a when you put it that way, yeah, it takes me a minute to actually look back, because it feels like 2012 was yesterday for me. Things have evolved so quickly in our space and differently than what I thought, but in a
Mhm.
good way. and also maybe in a not so good way, but let's not talk about that now. But yeah, I mean, now that you're mentioning, looking back at everything, and my journey in crypto in Web3. Wow, I mean, yeah, it's been it's been quite some time, but I don't regret anything. Every down cycle I enjoyed, and right now it is one of them, and I think it's testing many of us. So it is a very interesting time, but love it. Wouldn't
No, it really is. You know, what a lot of people may not know is your path, it's like you've taken a different path. You have 4 degrees, correct? And
Yeah,
then, you actually walked away from Harvard.
yeah, and
So,
drop it off. Yeah.
what can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, why did you walk away? What made you get to the point where you're like, "Okay, you know what? I am out of here and I don't wanna do this."
It's so funny because in our space we don't really believe in education, which I don't, I think it has good and bad. So it's not me saying, education is everything. But for me, at least, I do see myself as a student of life. And if I could, I would never stop going to school, honestly. So hence why I have 4 degrees. I spent a lot of time learning. And school was one of the ways you could, learn. And it was also a very great way for me to build my network. And
Yeah.
obviously your network is your net worth. And entering those big Ivy League schools, especially business schools, really helps you get those connections that you may not have. So that eagerness of mine to learn and satisfy that curiosity that I have for everything, doubled with me seeing the opportunity of building my Rolodex, I thought, well, I need to keep going. And so I basically, after my fourth degree, I got headhunted for a position at a hedge fund in New York. And back at the time, I was back at home in Monaco, and I thought, oh, this is an amazing opportunity. I always wanted to live in New York. Let me give it a try. And so I moved to New York. I started my journey in TradeFi, which I liked, and I decided to continue studying. And obviously, I love a challenge. I thrive on challenges, hence my career path. And I decided, okay, what is the hardest school to get in? Like, give me a good challenge. And so I picked, I know it's going to sound super silly, but that's why I picked Harvard, on top of obviously knowing that I would meet very interesting people there that would still help my Rolodex. So got into Harvard, and that was while I was still working. So imagine I was working at a hedge fund and going back and forth to Boston for my classes basically every single week. I was taking the bus. I was broke back then, because that was my first job. And yeah, I was taking the bus back and forth every single week to go to my classes. So eventually, I thought to myself, well, this is a little bit, this is a lot, because it's Harvard. So not only you have to attend the classes, but obviously the homework was really tough. And among other things, if you don't get anything above B plus, you have to repass the class, at least in the program that I was. So I was like, look, I'm not I don't have time for homework right now. I'm working a full-time job too. So I was like, look, let me put that on hold for now. I have other ambitions. It's not like I need yet a fifth degree. And maybe I will go back to it eventually. So that's the story behind it. So I am a classical drop off from Harvard.
No, look, at
Stereotypical.
least you have some degrees before you decided to drop out of Harvard.
Yeah.
You can at least say that because a lot of us, we went to college and dropped out to pursue life dreams. Like I love what you said earlier because I feel like I'm a student of life as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, and I honestly think school is not the answer, right? It was just something that worked for me, but I do not believe it works for everybody. Like people that are extremely successful didn't go to school, and I love that. So, you know, you don't define someone's value by how many degrees they have. So even though I have 4 degrees, that's great, but it doesn't define what I'm capable of, and it doesn't define, yourself as well. You're a great example of that.
I love that. And I love that you say that because, a lot of the people that are very successful, they have dropped out of college. They didn't finish, they didn't get a degree. And, there's a story of one of my friends that he always said that, it's like one day he was looking out the window, sees college professor coming in with a busted car and was like, I'm learning from, it's like this, then kind of dropped out. And some feel like school, especially here in America, is a scam. But you know what, it's not about the schools, it's about UV. And I want to pick your brain and learn a lot more about you. I know we were talking behind the scenes before we came on, and I was like, just learning what you've done, especially in this space and your trajectory, it's so amazing. And then now that you're going to begin building world of women, it's like I think you're exciting all of us again. I'm like, are NFTs back again? Yes. But when was there a moment in your life when you realized I can't keep following the path that I am expected? What's expected of me?
Oh, I think the big turning point in my life was after my first job in crypto. Um, in 2017, end of 2017, I was recruited by one of the first crypto hedge funds. And obviously, it was a dream coming true because back at the time, the market wasn't as big
Mhm.
as it is today, right? And there were
Yeah.
not that many institutions. And so for me to be able to find a full-time job to work on my passion crypto on a daily basis, that was like a dream coming true. So I did that for a year, and we did it so well that one day my boss comes into my office, the CEO of the company, and he's like, I was, by the way, my role was head of capital. So I was raising basically the funds for the investment fund. And he comes into my office and he's like, V, you've done such an amazing job. I cannot believe it. And I was like, you know it. And he's like, well, thank you very much, but here's your severance check. We won't need you anymore because we are at capacity, and we can't accept any capital anymore because again, the market was not as liquid and as big as it is today. So you couldn't have a big crypto fund, right? So
Mhm.
it really, literally, it broke my heart. And because I was such a dedicated, I'm half German and I'm half French, right? But the German side of me is very disciplined, is very rigorous, is very like, I'm doing my job the best way I know, and nobody else will beat me at it because I will make sure I am doing it, the best. And so I was so proud of the work I was doing. I didn't really expect them to let me go. And it's kind of ironic because this market right now is being harsh on many, many people. We see a lot of unemployment. But I tell my story as much as possible because for me, when I got fired, that was the beginning of my life, really, because I realized, okay, well, they don't owe me anything, fair, but I don't owe
Mhm.
them anything either. And I don't want to work for anybody's dream anymore. And so when I left, I that's when I decided to create my own consulting firm. And that's when I launched the rest of my career, basically. And I never worked for anybody ever again. So, you know, blessing in disguise. So for anybody out there that is hating their jobs or just got fired, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Look at the silver lining.
Oh my gosh, I freaking love that so much because, you walked away from traditional definitions of success, getting a degree from Harvard, working, where with the hedge fund. So what did that cost you, V, like emotionally, not professionally? Because, sometimes us as human beings, we're at a crossroads and sometimes it takes an emotional and a mental toll, and we really never speak about it. And then while we're going through the process, and then we look back and we're like, you know what? At that moment, I wasn't sure of that journey. I'm glad I did it. And look at where I am now. But sometimes there's uncertainty during that time.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm glad you're asking the question because it did come at a cost. Um, I think it did come at a cost during my employment where I was working nonstop. I was working
Mhm.
more than I'm working now, which is crazy. But it did cost a lot of, I guess, dreams. I had dreams of this, American corporate dream that you see in the Hollywood movies when you're young, and just ingrains in you the ideal American, or even like the dream for everybody to go into society, find a safe job, do your best, climb the ladder, and then you're gonna get rich if you work
Mhm.
hard. That really made me realize that's not the case anymore. It might have been the case back in the day for the previous generations, but it's definitely getting harder and harder for our generation and the next generations. I think emotionally it did it did definitely take a toll on me, especially because I moved to New York and I was alone. Like my family is not here. I'm all alone here, right? So I was really like driven by my passion for the space and my hard work. Really, I always been dedicated to my career. Some people get a family and kids. I don't have a family. I don't have kids. I'm not planning to have kids. My kid, my baby is my work, is my company, is whatever I'm working on. And I truly believe in it. Like I'm super driven about that. But yeah, I've lost countless of crying, sleepless night crying about, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with my life, and why did they fire me, and how am I going to survive? I'm all alone in a foreign country, um, no family, no friends, because I've dedicated my whole life to my career, so I didn't socialize at all, right? So it took it all. I had a don't don't want to make it too dark, right? But I definitely did have a period where I was depressed back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes. So it did take a toll on me, but I do not regret a single thing because it made me, every single hardship and every single, hard decision and experience made me who I am today. And I truly believe I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. There's like, you can ask me, nothing will take me down. I mean, but not in I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I'm saying that because I've lived through so much.
No,
So,
girl, say it. Say it. Even if it sounds
get it on.
cocky, confident, because it is a reality that we don't talk about. It's like, let's normalize women that love to work and that work is their baby, that
Yeah,
don't want to have a family, etc. I think that we judge that a lot. And then let's normalize talking about what you're talking about. And then when you pick yourself up because you've hit rock bottom and rebuilt from there, you know, being confident about it and saying what you said. It's like you can say whatever you say. You can try to tear me down. It's not going to tear me down. And if it sounds cocky, if it sounds the way it sounds, you only know what you've been through. We can imagine, we can empathize, but we're not present in your feelings and your mind. And you only understand, those rough times where you felt depressed and you had to pick yourself up, or nobody was there to pick you up. It's very exhausting, very emotional and very draining. And, more power to you, V. It's like you're such a strong, empowering woman. And I think that you've laid the path and you've opened the path, for a lot of women that might doubt themselves, or taking a leap of faith, going on their own, quitting everything and rebuilding from nothing, rebuilding from scratch.
Yeah, and I every single opportunity I have to actually, share my story, but also give advice to any women, but even not necessarily, segmented to women, to men as well. I will use my story and my bad stories, my sad
Yeah.
stories to help them, because at the end of the day, if my story can help someone else not make the same mistakes as I did and not be put in a situation that will be very uncomfortable for them, probably will hurt them emotionally, financially, you name it, then I'm all for it. Yeah, use my story. Do not make the same mistakes. And again, I'm happy I made them because it made me who I am today. But if it can serve someone, other people, I would love that. So I'm all about helping each other. Like, this is, we are stronger together. This is something I think people
No,
are
yes.
maybe saying that a lot, but I truly believe in it.
Oh, absolutely. Earlier on, especially when you are not from this country and you're choosing to come to America to have a better life. And like you said, sometimes you see in the movies, you're going to have this career path, this
Oh yeah.
something huge, something big. And I think a lot of, immigrants that come from other places, that's the way that we see it. I am the daughter of immigrants, and I know that sometimes you don't go down that path. Did you ever feel guilt for not finishing what society considers the right path?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's still, from time to time, it still hits me. I I'm someone that always questions things because I think it keeps you aware.
Mhm.
Um, and so I question everything. And on a personal matter, of course, I'm always questioning, well, I see my friends getting married and having children, and I am not, and I'm being asked, okay, so have you met someone, and what are you planning to do? And but yet, nobody is asking you about your career. Like, everybody that is, and I'm saying outside of Web3, right? Like,
Mhm.
personally, in a social setting, everybody is asking about my personal life, boyfriends and family and children, but nobody's asking me, well, what about your career? Are you closer to your dream? And so, of course, because I'm being asked those questions, and I'm sure I'm speaking for most, women out there who are following the same path, it just makes you think, oh, am I following the right path? But when I think about it, I'm right where I belong. Like, I
That
cannot
right
start
there.
to tell you how excited I am. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. every single day, going to the gym, going to the pool, to get ready to my day at Wow, because I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm building something that will have a legacy for generations to come. Whereas, okay, if I do that, or I bring to the world yet another child, not that I have anything against that, right? But why why would my child be different, right? I can leave that to people that actually enjoy it. I can bring a company with a legacy to the world. That would be my child. to the world. That's the way.
You and that's your kids, that's your babies, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and this is the thing that we don't normalize enough. I am a mother. I was married. My kids are, adults now, and I am divorced. And I always tell everybody that I am
Oh,
very
how old are
thankful.
you? 20 years old? What?
No.
Kids are adults? What are you talking about, Leslie?
Yes, V. I am in my 40s, girl.
No way. Stop.
Yes, wait.
Stop. Everybody, that is not possible.
It is. But let me tell you, I am thankful. I got married at a very, very young age. I had kids in my teens. I got married young. I left a career to build a family. And while I was building a family, I also started building a career. And now that I'm, solo single, I am selfish and it is
Oh,
okay. What I'm building, what I want to do in this space, that's going to be now my baby, my grandchildren. Now I'm being selfish and I'm telling my kids, no kids, because I don't want to be a grandma yet. But one of my best friends too, she didn't have any kids, she chose her career. And I don't think that we should make anybody feel any type of way for choosing the path that they feel is right for them. It's like
absolutely.
whatever you want to do in life, that is your choice, that is your journey. And if we truly say that we're women empowerment, that we're supporting women, that we want people to succeed, then we shouldn't judge, because there's plenty of men out there that have careers, don't have a family, don't have kids, and we don't say anything about it. It's okay. But if a woman decides to do that, is damn if she do, damn if she don't. And I think you are on the path, the journey that you need to be on. And if this is your family, this is your baby, you have such an amazing crew around you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think you spot on. I think there's no right or wrong path. I
Mhm.
think there's your own path and you decide what it looks like.
Yeah.
And the only thing you own to yourself is to follow it. You don't own anything. You don't owe anything to anybody besides yourself. That's pretty much it. Unless you have children. But
Unless you
no,
have
unless you have
children, yes, then it's like but
it's too
even if you
late.
have and
Not in
and
your
even
case.
if you have children, it's like do something for yourself too. Like if you want to have a
Absolutely.
career, if you want to build, just because you have a family and children, it shouldn't stop you. Can you imagine if I would have allowed that to stop me and consume me? What would have happened after I freaking divorced? I would have probably been depressed and throwing myself off a cliff because I would have had nothing to for me and for
Yes.
myself.
Honestly, I have the utmost respect for single mothers like yourself that are choosing to follow a
Mhm.
hardcore a career, like, and really investing into it because you guys have double the work. You still have to be a mother, and you still, in most cases, you still want to be a good mother, right? But you still have to be a mother to your career. So you double the mother now. And
Yeah.
I have the utmost respect for you because again, it takes so much more. Like being a mother is a job in itself. So, and you're not even trained to do it. You have to learn on the job.
Look, there's no manual. Sometimes it's like you learn from everybody, you take feedback. Sometimes, just because people give you feedback doesn't mean that you really have to receive it, take it, or whatnot, but just kind of listen and ponder on it and whatnot. But you've been in this space for a while. You started with one company. And then for a while there, you went out and you helped scale one of the most recognizable NFT brands in the world. And then today, you are the CEO of Wow. Walk us through that journey of working with a recognizable NFT brand and then deciding to, you know what, I am leaving this journey to go and start another journey. When did you hit that fork in the road?
Yeah, I mean, um, so when I created my consulting firm, I was early, but I my goal was to teach and educate institutional investors so we could bring that money into our space to again accelerate the adoption. So that was something that I was doing. And on the side, I also wanted to dedicate myself to projects that I believed in to grow, right? And so Purgy reached out to me because Peter, who is the chief creative officer who took over Pudgy with Luca and Lorenzo, um, Peter and I had worked together on another project before that. And so when he took over Pudgy, he came to me and he was like, V, we are trying to raise capital, but it's not working. If you can help us, would love to have you just work your magic, raise capital, and we'll focus on the rest. And I was like, okay, but I have other things that I'm working on. So I'm just gonna focus on that for you guys. And then I'll go back to what I'm doing, right? And obviously, before me saying yes, I had a call with Luca, and our vision and mission for Pudgy, but also for the industry long term, really aligned. And I was at that point, I was looking to add a some exposure to my personal portfolio investment, to NFT, but I hadn't chosen which one. And Pudgy, it was serendipity. Pudgy came at the right time with the right pitch, and we aligned on everything. So I joined the team, and they wanted to raise 2.5. I raised over 9 million in 6 months in a bear market when FTX happened, the SEC investigating into Yuga Labs. It was the worst market you can imagine. But obviously, because I've been working in the space for so long, I know everyone in the space, and I've made a lot of money for a lot of people. So when I bring an opportunity, usually I have my own investors that just follow me wherever I go. So it was I would say easier for me to raise capital than for anybody else. So raise the capital, and then I was supposed to after that go back to my other projects. And Luca came to me and was like, V, we can't let you go. Just we would love to have you stay. Just pick any position you would like. We were thinking maybe if you would like to be the COO of Pudgy. And I was like, I appreciate that, but I don't see myself as a COO. So I'm gonna turn that down because that would take me too much of time. But I can be head of BD for you, so at least I can continue working on other things on the side. So I did that, and the whole role was basically finding the right partners, the right collabs. So all the low tech groups, all the line friends, all the toys as well. I worked on that. Basically, all the first millions that came into Pudgy and was generated as income or revenue for Pudgy through different licensing, so different toys, different basically deals, was mostly through me. And after what was it, 3 years with the team, I I you know I came to Pudgy with a goal in mind, which I always do, and my goal was to take Pudgy to a unicorn level. I Earlier this year we achieved that, and I was like, okay, well, I came, I conquered. That's what I wanted to do. I would like to take some time off now. So I
Yeah.
decided to leave Pudgy, and obviously I'm still a shareholder, I'm still an advisor, still very close to the team. But Luca was heartbroken, but he understood. And I decided to go on a sabbatical, because being since 2012 in the space, we all know the space is going 24/7. So I needed a little bit of time to rethink what I was wanting out of life and how I can help this space, and so on and so forth. And literally 2 weeks in my sabbatical, I have this big high profile person in our space that everybody knows, but I'm not going to name names, comes to me and he's like, V, I know you're on vacations right now, but I have this opportunity. World of Women is looking for a CEO, and I think you'll be perfect. Would you consider it? Just look at it. You don't have to say yes, but just look at it. And I was like, I'm going to say no, but I'm curious as to know what they're up to. So let me just talk to the team, and we can take it from there. And they flew me to London, met with the team, and I fell in love. I fell in love with the team. I fell in love with the mission. And I also thought to myself, if I don't take that opportunity to revive and grow World of Women, this is going to die. And I cannot let that happen just for the space, because this company has such a big legacy. This company is a blue chip, and I don't want that to die because it would be detrimental for the entire space. And there's so much potential as well in Wow. The same potential that I saw in Pudgy, I'm seeing in Wow, untapped. So I said yes, and then I brought my team, some of which came from Pudgy, left Pudgy to follow me, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you, my team. I love you all. And right now, we've been adjusting the mission, expanding the mission of Wow, which was, empowering women. We're expanding it to empowering women and men, and bringing people together, because again, I truly believe together we're stronger. And but there is still this gap between men and women in the space, and where women don't have too much of a voice and don't know really how to make the space doesn't know how to make a space for women. So the whole goal for Wow for me is to really bridge everybody, really basically bringing people together through a range of products. So we're working right now on an AI product that will be released next year, later next year, because AI is a long is something that requires a lot of investment and time to work. And I'm a quality person. I do not launch anything that is not quality. So, but then in the meantime, we're going to launch another product that we're working on right now, that is what I call a GGP. So it's a gaming, gambling, and prediction market. And it will be, on a single interface, a single platform that has those three interfaces. We're going to work on it through different stages. So I'm not going to say too much. But we're going to achieve one of the dreams that NFTs had, which was may or may not have been revenue share. So I'm not going to say too much, but on that as well, one thing that I'm excited about, I need to say it, is that today, actually right now, we just launched a Dutch auction for our Wowster token. So we had launched a Wowster token uh, a few weeks ago. And so we have a Dutch auction that everybody can find on wowster.fun, and where we put an NFT for an auction. So we have, like, as you can see, it's really about creating interactions and experiences and initiatives that really revive the cultural relevance of Wow. Because right now, the thing that is missing, unfortunately, is Wow being part of the discussion. It has not been part of the discussion for a long time, and it's a matter of time. But it takes us working on initiatives that really excites people, on different levels, to make sure that they come back and keep on interacting and keep on participating and keep on being active within the family, within the community, and the ecosystem. So a
I
lot, we're working a lot.
Man, you are building so much. And I wanted to show the website. The other website that you just mentioned was World of Women.
It was Wowster,
Wowster.
WOWSTR.fun. And then if you go on the reward machine, we have a tab with a reward machine, that's where you will find the Dutch auction. Again, it's just for people to know, we're not making any money out of that. It's not about us making money. There's nothing that goes to the team. It's really about creating fun tools for people to get rewarded and start participating and really have fun, because it's all about having fun, especially in, in this market right now. So you have the Wowster, where people can buy some stir coin, and then if you go up, on the tabs, you have home, flow, and reward machine. If you go on reward machine, you're gonna see the auction, Dutch, exactly. So this is the Dutch auction, basically. So obviously
Okay.
it goes down in price until someone decides to snag it, which is going to be interesting. Again, it's a game. It's all about gamification and bringing something that is fun for people and incentivizing them. Again, we're not taking anything out of that. We are giving. It's all about. I've been saying I'm tired of seeing, you know, projects launching things, products that are just extractive, right? It's all about, okay, I'm launching this, but you have to pay to participate. You have to pay to buy my cards. You have to pay to buy some, I don't know, t-shirts. You have to pay to come to my event. I want to, change that, reframe the way projects are looking at product launches, and really launching products that are net value, like create net values for our community. So this is one of them. We've invested in creating that. We're not taking anything, and it's all about giving back.
I love this so much. And I am like, where the heck have I been all this time? Because I didn't even know we can trade Wowster. Like, was I asleep this whole time?
Which is not our TGE, by the way. I just want to clarify, not that I'm saying we won't have a TGE, but this is not the TGE. This is, again, the similar, the equivalent of Punkster.
This is so cool. I am glad that we're talking about it and showing it for the people to get in and go and become more bullish on world of women again. Now, I know you're building an AI, and right now it is the world of artificial intelligence. It's
Yes.
all over the place. It's like in the space that we are in, crypto, there are even AI tools to help with the trading, to help with a lot of information. Can you give us any little glimpses or any little nuggets of what
Honestly,
you are possibly building
you're gonna
an
get me
AI
in
for?
trouble. You know that. My teammate is gonna kill me. Um,
They're like, no.
Look, I can't say too much, but all I'm gonna say is you're right about the world of AI. Right now, we are, in a world of AI. Everybody's working on an AI, right? For me, what I want our AI to be different on is, there are two things, right? When you look at AI products, there are two things. Right now, you can make a difference not on the tech, because everybody has, more or less, right? Everybody has access to the same tools to build your AI, approximately. So the really making a difference on the tool itself is difficult, unless you're an open AI, right? Or unless
Mhm.
you're a Meta and you have infinite amount of capital. But for the rest of us, especially in Web3, we do have approximately the same resources at hand. And therefore, that means that you're building approximately the same AI agent, the same, AI product in general. So there are two ways you can differentiate yourself, either by having the right partners, right? that either help you build that AI or help you drive traffic adoption to that AI. Naming,
Yeah.
if you, for example, strike a deal with Netflix, then you know you're going to be able to tap into Netflix's audience. That's an easy win, right? So that's the first way you can win. The second way you can win is by your go-to-market strategy. Right now, most people have the same go-to-market strategy, which is just advertising. And that works for most things. But if you want to make an impact and drive traffic, it really doesn't move the needle because you will be promoting in the sea of other AIs and other companies promoting the same product, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
what we're thinking about is, again, I'm so excited. So I'm, censoring myself right now because I wish I can tell you because I'm so excited about it. But really, the difference with the AI is, first of all, it's not going to be solely focused on Web3. I'm thinking much bigger than Web3 for all our products, by the way. It's not, I'm never building a product that is solely dedicated to Web3. Um, so when I think about go to market strategies, you have to think bigger. You have to think about, we are not necessarily going to only focus on Web3 or retail. I will let you, come up with your own idea, but the big play will be a B2B here strategy. But again, the devil is in the details. I can't say too much, but it will, if we execute on time, with the partners that we have, that we're talking to, it could be just much bigger than Web3, much bigger than Web3.
V, you strike me as someone that thinks outside the box,
Oh yeah.
and you're probably thinking and building something that we might need or need to utilize within a couple of years down the road. Sometimes they say great CEOs um, build and think 3 to 4 to 5 years, and trying to anticipate what the consumer is going to need and then begin building now, even if it might not seem appealing or appeasing to the current market. So you kind of strike me as something like that. I
Well,
don't know.
I can definitely tell you that every single person that I told about the go-to-market strategy and our product, every single one was like, "Why? What? I didn't even think about that. This is genius. Yes, this is great." So look, if nobody has thought about it before, it's great. That's what I want. And even if we're a little bit early, that's fine. That is completely fine. But yeah, usually I think outside of the box. Um, I'm either creating. I do two things. Either I create something that is brand new, that doesn't exist, and that's why it's interesting for me. Or the other thing that I love to create that is interesting is I create a product that already exists but improved, and that's where you win, right? A lot of companies uh, became successful through that, like taking a project that was already proven that is working and there's a market for that, but just making it 10 times better. So yeah, my brain works in, I love solving problems. I love challenges. I love it. I'm a little bit, yeah, I just love it. It's fun for me.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to talk to you a few months down the line, maybe when you're able to uh, say a little bit more of what you're
Yes.
building and be like, oh my goodness, this is what I thought. And, maybe I was completely off, and just kind of retouch on this conversation in the future. This is so amazing. V, how is it working now with your new team? And were they receptive to a new CEO coming in, a change of leadership? And the reason that I'm asking that question is because You said something very true and very raw and real earlier about not letting WoW die down. And, it had been a while since we didn't see WoW or much on the timeline. And lately, I don't know if it's just me, my algorithm, but I've seen the community more active, the team more active. And then I feel this energy I haven't felt in a while. It's like that energy, that fire, that what, we were here, but now we're going to build, and we have that drive and that motivation to build something great and leave a legacy.
Yeah, I mean, the transition was, well, transitions in general are never easy, right? I
Yeah.
mean, um, it was a challenge because I came in with a brand new vision for WoW, and the the previous executive team had left, right? They had packed their bags and they were gone. So that wasn't too much of an issue. The issue was, or the difficulty, the challenge was coming in with a team that were used to the previous team with the previous vision and the previous roadmap for WoW. And obviously, as a team member, if you've been working for years with like a certain roadmap and that's what you used to, now you get this new crazy CEO coming in and having all those you know big ideas but completely different from before. It might throw you off, and so the difficulty was to really re-engage the team, re-engage the team, make them excited about the new vision, and also make sure that we had the right talent to be able to execute on the roadmap. And that was also, very, very tricky because you can have the best ideas in the world. If you do not have the team to execute on it, you are dead in the
Mhm.
water. And you can be the best CEO in the world. Without my team, I am nothing. And any CEO without their team, they're nothing. So, team is the lifeblood of your the lifeline, sorry, the lifeline of your company. So without them, I can't achieve anything. And I'm very, again, lucky that I handpicked every single person that we have in the team right now, not because I love them, but because I needed the best to be able to execute on my vision for WoW. So I can honestly say I do believe I have the best, most talented team in the space, and I'm very glad that they followed me on that journey and trusted me on it.
I love that because without a strong team, you cannot survive. It is very difficult for a business to survive without the right and the proper team. Sometimes we think we have the right team, but we absolutely do not. And that is so detrimental. V, what kind of leader did you promise yourself you would never become?
A dictator? I mean,
Love
look,
that.
I
Yeah.
again, I have German blood, so in schools in Germany, people would be surprised, but they teach us very, like, they teach the whole history. We spend a lot of time learning about, Hitler and this sad period, and making sure that, we understand as the future generations that that was a abomination that should never, happen again. And so from a very early age for me, like, that was a thing. you know i I hope today I am a leader that um create, for me what's important is created a safe and a fertile environment for each member of my team to be able to bloom. Because again, finding the right talent is great, but it doesn't do everything. You have to, as a leader, you have to set them up for success. And so for me, it's very important. I am not on your back, right? I do not watch people work. Like, I trust them, they do their job, they have their objectives, and then they run with it. But on the flip side of that, I'm going to be very rigorous. And if you do not achieve what you're supposed to achieve, that is not going to be good for you. I am going to tell you right away, and you're not going to like what I'm going to tell you, because I'm very straight. I'm a straight shooter. So I will never be a leader that never listens to um, my team. I think, good ideas come from anywhere. It comes from up, down, middle. It's really a teamwork for me. And I like to tell my team, like, yeah, I have the title of CEO because for me, it's the burden is on me to make this company successful. But we are very much a flat organization. Like, anybody can just send me a message, schedule a call with me. I'll talk to them about anything. So, and that's what I like to that's the type of leader I aspire to do.
I love that. You strike me as somebody that's very kind, but you have boundaries and you're going to put your foot down, like a mama bear when you need to. So, how do you protect your softness without losing your edge,
Oh,
especially in leading?
that is tough, Leslie. That's an actual great question, because it is a balance exercise. um I'm always trying to strike the balance, because I can, again, I'm German, I'm French, but I'm also German. And so when something doesn't go as planned, you're gonna hear me right away, and I'm gonna tell you right away. And my sweet pea, my COO, likes to tell me that I don't like to beat around the bush, but it's good because she's the opposite of me. She's so diplomatic. She's so tactful. She's the best. She's just a good, pure human being. So smart, so good with people, but also very, just extremely intelligent. And by the way, side note, she's also one of the largest, if not the largest, female whale in our space. So just saying. So
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's a big caliber. But in any case, I mean, it is a daily struggle. I For me, the key is never disrespect anybody, right? Never disrespect. I'm gonna say what I have to say, but come what may, I will respect you, but I'm still gonna say what I have to say. And if you're not up for the task, you're probably not gonna have a long life in my team. So,
I love that.
to yourself. For me, that's all about that. Because at the end of the day, if you do not execute and do what you're supposed to do, it's on me, because I'm accountable for the success of this company, and I can't have some people that are not performing. So I'm very strict on that.
You have to be, especially as a leader. There is so much on your shoulders, so much pressure. You have to make sure that everything flows, the squeaky wheel is turning. And sometimes people don't understand that, especially if they have not had leadership positions before. And, it's like the way that you are and the way that you're driven, a lot of the times people could probably see it as, cold hearted, whatnot, but you can't sugarcoat. And, it's like, to me, I love people that are direct. I love people that tell the truth, even though the truth is uncomfortable. And if I feel some type of way, then I need to look in and search in. Why do I feel that way? Why is that hurting me? Why is that impacting me? Because I didn't do the job, or because I didn't do this, X, Y, and Z. I always say, if you're direct with people and if you tell them the truth and it offends them or it hurts them, then there's some truth to it.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. And you know what? I'm also open to them pushing back on this.
Yeah.
And if you and I have a conversation, and I'm telling you, Leslie, you didn't do what you're supposed to do, and you're telling me, well, because I was missing that resource that I needed to get that job done, I'm also really much, really much open to that, and to push back. Though I might say to you, well, that's on you. You should have told me what you needed to do your job. You had a deadline.
Exactly. Well, why did you sit on your fingers and your hands without telling me? We lost 2 to 3 days until I asked, why didn't you tell me before?
Exactly.
Like, what happened? Yeah. Oh my
It
goodness.
reminds me, I have one pet peeve that my team makes fun of is I hate inefficiency. I think again, it goes back to my German roots. I hate inefficiency. And I hate repeating myself because that makes me feel like I'm inefficient. If I said something to you once, I shouldn't have to tell you twice. It's on you to remember and just run with it. But that is something that is hard sometimes for my team because I get pretty upset if I have to repeat myself.
You know what? I love it when people, I work with people like that that don't like to repeat themselves. And, we had leadership like that. We would always come with their notes and then we would ask, is this meeting going to be recorded? And then that way, if it's recorded, we already knew that it's going to be there and then we can go and replay it because, our leader, it was a gentleman that I learned that in the corporate world. It's like you always be prepared and CYA and take extra notes and, see if the meetings are going to be recorded or not. And
That's
that
right.
way, it's like you have everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, V, what failure shaped your leadership more than any success ever could?
What experience shaped my
I
leadership?
would I would say
Or
like what experience that you probably felt that it was like a failure and
or
that, or not really a failure. I would just say like an experience maybe that it was not so positive because I always say and I always think that
hmm.
negative experiences shape sometimes the
Oh no,
type
I
of
mean,
leader that we want.
I have many failures, and I love that because now I know how to not fail. I learned from them. But no, I can give you a ton. Um, I think for me, if I had to pick one, right? Um,
Mhm.
I co-founded um, a tech company back in the day before NFTs, before Pudgy. I think it was in 2018 something or 2019. I don't. Sorry, probably 2019. We raised in 2019, and then COVID hit, so it was 2019, and it was a basically a Uber service for luggage, right? So we'll take your luggage, ship them, and you'll find your luggage at your hotel, wherever your destination is, right? So I we raised capital, and unfortunately, when we had finished our raise and we were about to launch the company and start working, basically, COVID hit. And the problem with that is that nobody travels, right? And we are a luggage company. So basically we were dead before even starting. And so what we did is we found all the investors. But for me, that was a painful experience, though it taught me a lot because it taught me that timing is everything, and you can have the best product, but if you're too early, you're going to fail. And I think a good example that I love to keep in mind is Meta, when they launched the metaverse. That Where is that thing anymore? I don't even know if it still exists. But you can see, like, you can have the most insanely amount of resources, endless capital. You can be the biggest company in the world with a great product that might come, eventually. I truly believe in the metaverse. But at that point, they were way too early for it when they launched. And I don't remember when it was, 2021. I don't remember. But they failed. They had to shut it down. I think they reopened it recently, but I don't remember. Anyway, it was a big failure. So timing is everything, your team is everything, and obviously your product must be on point as well, must really answer a need. um, or you need to create the need, but you need to be, you know, very confident that you are able to and have the right resources to create that need if it doesn't exist yet. So yeah, that was very painful because it was a lot of time and energy, and I truly believed in that company. So it was a baby that I had to be taking away.
Man, those tough lessons, right? Shapes your future and who you become.
Yeah.
So when World of Women is mentioned years from now, like years from now, what do you hope people feel, not just remember?
Oh, I love that question. This is spot on. Yes, Leslie, you're absolutely right. It's all about how they feel and whether they resonate with your values and you serve them. I want them to feel happy. I want them to feel safe, and I want them to feel trustworthiness. I want it to feel like, on a cold winter night when it's snowing and raining outside, and you are freezing in your little home, and you're in front of the fire pit, or like the fireplace, covered with blankets or with a hot cocoa. This feeling where you're so warm in that moment, but it's cold and dark outside. But in that place, in that safe place, you feel home and safe. This is a feeling I want them to have. I want them to think about Wow as a home where they can come back and leave if they want to. They can go elsewhere. It's not a prison. But I want them to know, if they come back, and when they come, it's safe, it's fun, it is it's warm, and it has a lot of surprises for them.
Oh, I love that so much. It's like when you were describing that right now, I was actually envisioning me being put in that place with my blankie, my hot cocoa by the fireplace, maybe like in Colorado, somewhere where it's super cold
Old.
snow. Oh, that is such a beautiful feeling. It's like people, this is what I think some people don't understand when you also do branding and marketing is how you make people feel and how it relates to their story for
Yeah.
them to buy into what you're building and your product.
Yeah, and everything happens on the emotional level. Right? I mean, you
Mhm.
said it right. I mean, people are loyal to your brand because they feel something towards you, and that's why Disney is Disney. And actually,
Yeah.
Disney is such a great case study. I got to meet with the president of Disney in France, for France, the Walt Disney World Company, not Disney the park, but Walt Disney World Company. And it was funny because I've been watching Disney, and the evolution is so interesting. I've been reading that massive autobiography of Walter Disney, or Walt Disney. Massive. It's like 75 hours of audiobook, right?
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Actually, I'm not reading. I'm listening. Sorry. But I'm very well versed when it comes to Disney history, because again, I think it's such an interesting case study. And we were just talking about how difficult the situation is for them, because you are building such a strong emotional connection that happens organically because parents put their children in front of a Disney movie. And Leslie, you've done that with your own children, right? Put them
Yes.
in front of a Disney story because it means something to you, because your own parents put you in front of a Disney story, and you have your own favorite Disney movies that you hope your kids will have them as their own favorite Disney movies. So you tend to
Yes,
find them
you know,
merged.
and I love that you brought that up because it's how you make, how you make people feel. Jillian, I want to say that Jillian ruined a Disney movie for me, The Little Mermaid. And I
No.
remember when my daughter was a little girl and she loved to dress as a little mermaid. And I remember, this is a memory that I have. My sister was driving, my sister had just had her baby girl, and my daughter was in the back seat with her, and her daughter was in the car seat, and I was in the passenger. And I remember we just started singing the Little Mermaid song, and then I said, I'm the mermaid, and then my daughter's like, no, I'm the mermaid, and then we all started that, right? And then Jillian tells me the reality and the real story of the Little
Yeah.
Mermaid, and now I'm like, don't have the courage to tell my daughter the true story about
Dude,
the Little Mermaid. But yes, feeling
yeah,
the emotion.
if you guys out there do not know the real story of the Little Mermaid, that was created by a Danish author, you don't want to know. Just don't spoil it for yourself. Do
Do
not look
not.
into it. It's pretty sad. Yeah, I mean, but the fact is, you see, you had that connection with
Mhm.
that IP, with what, like Ariel, and you wanted so badly that your own child had that same connection, so you could share that, right? So,
Yes.
but the beauty of it is it's all organic. Disney doesn't have to pay for that. But the problem they have right now is they are put in a situation where those are a lot of their IPs are licenses as well,
Mhm.
right? And so they do have to renew the content of some IPs on a semi-regular basis every years. I don't remember what you mentioned, but and that is tricky because you want to create new content of the Little Mermaid or the Lion King or Aladdin, all those, but the new content with the new format has to resonate with the new generation. But then by doing that, you may upset the old generation because now you, just like they did, like they released a ton of those animated versions of Lion King. They had Aladdin. They had, I don't remember, but many of them were a failure because it was upsetting to us to see, you know,
Cinderella too. Don't look up Cinderella.
ex-
Thanks to Jillian, I went down a rabbit hole.
do not look down. And Snow White the
Don't go
same
down
way.
that rabbit hole.
Snow White the same. Do not look at the real stories. But anyway, so it's upsetting because you have to strike the balance between creating content that will resonate with the new generation without upsetting the old generation. And
Mhm.
right now they're stuck in between that, and they have, unfortunately, a Gen Z that is very vocal, that is very anchored in what they believe, or what they want to see from Disney. And if they're not going to like the content that Disney is going to put out, they're going to say it. And so, but they still have to please the new generation, the younger generation, because that's the future for Disney. Again, I'm sorry, I'm going onto a tangent here because I think
Mhm.
it's so interesting, like business
Yeah.
wise. It's so interesting because, yeah, you have to appeal on the emotional side of people, but you also have to bear in mind how to always remain relevant. And I think for me, when I applied that to World of Women, to Wow, that was a big thing because we had a legacy. I came in and we had a legacy, which was empowering women. But that was relevant, as much as that was relevant in 2021, 2022 when it was launched. It didn't involve that mission, and that vision for the company didn't evolve with its time. Now we live in a different crypto market. We live in a different Web3 environment because we have more women, because it's more diversified, because we have more Web2 people in. And you have to make sure you evolve your company with your time and with your audience. And so
Mm-hmm.
we may not please everybody that is out there, the old, especially the old guard from the previous community, or the community that joined because it was solely about women. But I don't think you can win long term if you are so niche. You can win if you bring people together, because you need unity, makes it create something that is stronger.
Absolutely. I love that you said that. And I love that you're building around that because at the end of the day, we can't coexist one without the other. And, sometimes to grow and elevate and to get to the next level, we do need each other. And I think there's always this sand in the line that people draw, or this line in the sand where it's like we have to be divisive, or there has to be a division between female, male, etc. And one
Yeah.
of the, when I first came into this space too, it was very, we need more women. I used to do a lot of women empowerment spaces, and that was kind of where I was growing and heading, and it worked for a little bit. And now I'm like, you know what? I want to showcase a lot of women. I want to talk to a lot of women of what they're building and empowering, little girls, women too that are at a crossroads, they don't know what to do. And but also men, it's like, how can men contribute? How can men help you? And how have men help, with either information, knowledge? My trajectory in the corporate world, and when I went into leadership roles, a lot of my advice came from, men,
Mhm.
more so than women. And that has helped me navigate this space. And I think that what you are doing and shaping is something amazing and beautiful, that now you're wanting to also drive, the men forward, because sometimes we do need men to carry us. We're tired of walking and they need to pick us up when we want to take our Manolos or our Louis off, right?
I mean, it's like the yin and the yang. You need both. In a family,
Yes.
if you want to build a family, which is what I'm building for Wow, beyond just a
Mhm.
community, I'm building a family. You need a male figure, you need a female figure in most cases, right? and and they are stronger together because they find balance. And women are bringing something to the table that men can't bring, and vice versa. Men are bringing something to the table that women can bring. But together, again, if they mix and they brainstorm together and then cooperate, that's where the magic happens.
Absolutely. B, what if you could speak to one, and this is based on what you said earlier, building, not deciding not to have a family. This is your family and the path that you've chosen. If there is a woman that is standing there and doesn't, is feeling guilty or feeling some type of way, and if you could speak to the woman listening right now who's questioning her place, what would you tell her?
Only duty she has is to herself. Do not listen to anybody else. Do not listen to society. Just follow what feels right to you. And if it's, to have children, then have children. If it's to focus on your career, focus on your career. If it's to become a clown in the circus, do that. But
I love
at the end of the day, you have one life. And yes, it's not a pretty market right now. Um, and it might get better, but who knows? We may also die tomorrow, right? So you might as well die trying something that gets you closer to your dreams, or like building something that gets you closer to your dream, that being alive but dead inside because you are working a job or doing something that you don't want to do, right? If If your career is everything, then just focus on that, and screw the rest. Just prove everybody wrong. For me, my biggest drive is I love when people are against me or people don't believe in me, because it just gives me fire to prove everybody's wrong. And having worked in TradFi for a very long time, and especially in hedge funds, because hedge fund is even more so ultra selective and ultra small and ultra male dominated. um it was so pleasant and great to prove that a woman can do better than a man. But not that I don't want men to succeed, but just to leverage the playing field for the next generation as well. So just follow your path, listen to yourself. You know best what you are capable of. Do not listen to anybody else.
I love that. Okay, so I just have a couple of rapid fire questions for you. And then I'm going to
Shoot,
ask you a last question before we wrap up.
hold on, I'm gonna put the,
So,
the right light for you for the rapid fire.
yes.
Wait, yeah, here we go. We
Oh
are
my
in
gosh.
discotheque
You know
right now.
what?
Just yeah,
You can't
yes.
really see mine, but I got some strobe lights too.
I can't find my disco light anymore. Come on,
You're
give
like,
me my.
where the heck did they go?
Where are you?
Trying
Oh,
to
that's
see if
bright. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm ready.
I was like trying to do strobe lights for mine really quick too, but I'm like, they were not doing anything.
By the way, your
Um,
playlist was amazing. I
oh,
was
thank
dancing by
you.
myself.
I was like, started from the bottom, now we here. And then I threw like some violin type music that was kind of a hip hop type.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know how I came across it. And I'm like, oh, that is so different and interesting. I like it. Okay, here we go. You ready, B?
I'm ready.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Morning builder or late night thinker?
Morning.
Bull market or bear market?
Ah, bull.
Quiet focus or controlled chaos?
Oh, quiet focus.
Builder or curator?
A little bit of both.
Conviction or flexibility?
Conviction. But
Win.
also a little bit of flexibility. Oh, this is tough, but more conviction.
Okay. Um, oh my gosh, where did I go? Oh, win quietly or celebrate loudly?
I'm more of a win quietly, but my team is trying to teach me to win, celebrating.
I love that. Intuition or spreadsheets?
Intuition.
One habit you're proud of.
Waking up at 5, so I have time for myself to set my mind for the day.
Okay. And then the last one word for 2026.
One word?
One word for 2026.
Ah, you're killing me, Leslie. One word. I would say, so one word to define what I believe will be 2026.
Yes, or like one word that you could think of for 2000. Can I
I
put
would.
the screen up of what your team is saying?
Oh my gosh! Wait, I want to see. Um, I would say. Oh, I don't see the chat, unfortunately. Echo, Echo. Here we go. Echo, you fired. Absolutely. We are not swearing here. No, one word would be. Oh, I wish I had 3 words. I would say let's go, but I would say just success. Success.
Success. I love that. Love it. Now, and I decided to choose one word because we actually ended with one word for 2025 that was for from your team, which it was hilarious because it just came out of nowhere. You know, Christy, she was so proper, so nice. The whole team was. And at the end, you know, I was like, one word for you to define or describe 2025. And then out of nowhere, we were quiet. And then that word just came out. We busted out laughing. So I was like, okay, now we need to start with V. One word for
Wait,
2026.
what was the word? I want to know now.
FUCK.
Oh my gosh, okay, now I understand.
So I need to post that little clip and tag you. And it was just so funny because we were like one word for 2025. I honestly never expected that word to come out of her mouth. And then I was like, wait, who said that? We just all busted out laughing. And then after that is just that word.
Oh my gosh. Now I see the chat. You
That's
know,
why that's why they're putting that word in there because that's how it ended for 2025. That was the one word they ended with.
it's funny because I don't even know the entire team has never seen or never heard me swearing. So the only person that has in the team is my CEO. But I wish I could say it for you guys, especially for you, Echo. But I cannot. I cannot.
You know, that's how I am too. I used to not swear, you know, fudge or I would create words, especially, you know, being around kids. But in this space, V, sometimes when you're hanging out with the
That's
DJs,
true.
late night in spaces, you know, and they
That's
just
true.
sometimes bring it out of you.
That's true. That's true. And it rubs off. I completely hear you. Trust me. Yes. Amen to that.
It just comes out. Okay, last question. What does it mean to you to stay human in a world that rewards speed over soul?
Oh my gosh. What does it mean to me?
Yes. What does it mean to you to stay human, especially in a space in this world that we're in that rewards speed over soul?
You know what? The way I think about it is it ideal? No. But it is what it is, and we're in this space because we love it. And if we're still in it, it's because we love it. I think it makes me stronger.
Yeah.
So I just, I take the lemon and I make lemonade with it.
And
That's
I
really
will bring
what
the
it is.
tequila if you drink.
I do not. I'm sorry. I am boring. I do not
No,
drink.
you're,
Like
you know what?
tequila.
No, you're not boring. Let me tell you. I admire people who do not drink because I am not a drinker that, you know, drinks every weekend, but I do like to have old fashioned, a margarita, tequila. Sometimes I wish I didn't, but I admire people who don't because I actually, when I don't drink or anything, to me, it's like you have a clearer mind, your skin, especially now that I'm older, you know, and take care a lot of my skin. I drink a lot less. And I admire people who don't do it at all.
Well, here's a fun fact. I got drunk or tipsy for the first time in my life last year.
No, and
And
how did you handle that?
because you mentioned tequila, I'm gonna let you into what was the chosen liquor for the task. It was tequila because I thought to myself, well, at least I can just chug it, and I'm just gonna feel something eventually. It's gonna hit me, and I don't want to drink to drink. It's too many calories, and I don't even enjoy it. So let me just take tequila. It's the fastest route to my goal, which is I wanted to feel how it feels to feel tipsy. And let me tell you, Leslie, I do not understand why people do it. I do not understand. It was so bad. To top it, I was on a cruise.
Oh my goodness, no.
Yes, it was the last night of the cruise, and I was like, okay, I'm going all out. I'm in my 30s. I need to experience it. I cannot leave this planet without knowing how it feels to be tipsy. And I'm curious again. So I was like, okay, let me give it a try. And it was terrible. You do not want to come across a V being drunk. It was not pretty. It was not pretty.
Oh my goodness. So you're like, it's not for me.
No, it's not for me. And Echo, next goal for the next team meeting, get V drunk.
Get me to
Absolutely not.
oh my goodness. You know what? If that is the case and I'm around, I will bring stuff because when we go to events, afterwards, free alcohol and all that stuff. There are some packets or like gel that you actually consume before you start drinking
Oh well.
so you don't feel anything the next day. And then there's an event that I attended one time and I was helping with the event, but at the same time they were giving me a drink and it was pineapple something and it was tequila. So I only drink one type of tequila and it's Don Julio and it has to be the blanco, the clear. I do not do the brown tequila because that will mess me up, V. It will mess me up. So I took this gel and these pills and I went all day. I didn't feel tipsy. I didn't
Wow,
feel
it
anything. I just
worked.
felt happy. Yes. And then the next day we got up early and went on about our business.
That's
I
crazy.
don't do that often, but I did that day. Somebody recommended it and I was like, "Oh my gosh." So now anytime that I go to events and then I know I'm going to have a few drinks, I'll carry like these little packets and these pills and I take them because I'm like I'm not about to wake up crazy the next day.
Well, now I'm curious because you know my first experience being drunk, right? And again, I'm sparing everybody's the details because it was basically summary was me trying my hardest to walk straight on a boat that was moving, um, and me being completely drunk, which I couldn't. Obviously, I was walking sideways and ending up reaching finally my cabin where I couldn't fall asleep because obviously the whole world
Oh
was
my
turning around me.
goodness.
So I
How
ended up
much
throwing up
tequila did
everywhere.
you have?
So he ended
And
up, with vomit everywhere. So now that I've shared my embarrassing first experience being drunk, you have to indulge all of us, even like, especially the people listening to us right now, Leslie. Please tell us your first experience because you seem to be very experienced.
I
So
am,
tell us.
and I don't even know. Okay, so this is what I find fascinating when, people tell me they don't drink and they have an experience that you're like, you know what? I don't want to feel like this. I'm done. I had a crazy experience and I still kept drinking. I'm like, what is wrong with me, V? When I was young, I used to club in Mexico. I used to live in Arizona, border town before, I got married and stuff. And I was in Mexico at a club. We had a good time drinking. And then I didn't realize, how messed up I was until we were going down the stairs from the club. And then the wind hits us. And sometimes it's when you step out to that cold and the wind hits you, you're like, what just happened? I remember everything was spinning. In Mexico back then, I don't know now, but in the corners there used to be hot dog stands where it was like a little cart and they would cook hot dogs, hamburgers, whatnot. I remember that I was holding on to it had like some little pillars and then the tent that covered like the hot dogs. And I remember holding on to the uh, pillars and then my whole body was under the cart of the hot dog and I was yelling to my sister, "Get me some hot Cheetos, get me some hot Cheetos." And they're like, "Leslie, get out. We have to go home." I don't even know how they yanked me, got me in the car. I don't even know how we crossed the border, V, because I couldn't even talk. And, at that point, it's
Wait, you
like
crossed the border the same night?
the same night, yes. So we were plastered, and eh, that next morning, it was always a Saturday, because that's when the clubs were popping. And then on a Sunday, I was like, never again, ever. And then the next Saturday, I got invited to another event, and I was like, okay, let's go. But
Of course. At that age, we have such a short memory. We just
mhm,
conveniently forget things, right?
yeah,
But your story is
but
definitely hands down the funniest.
no, I have a lot of funny stories. I have stories throwing up too. It's just, and now that I'm a lot older, I look back and I was like, I had a lot of tolerance and patience because now I drink to relax, to have, kind of a good time and just to sometimes mellow down. So that typically is 1 to 2 drinks and then I'm done. I don't drink like I used to when I was young anymore. And I'm like, I don't like that feeling of waking up. When you get older, you become less tolerant. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not at
Yeah.
that age where I can recover and recoup faster.
Right. What is your drink, your go-to drink?
Typically, it's a margarita. So right now, I am by the border with mom and family, and anytime we go to a restaurant, their margaritas are so freaking good. There's this particular one that I always crave, and it's a tamarindo margarita. But when I go further into the US, I typically like to sit down and have an old fashioned.
That's interesting. So when you in Mexico, you drink margaritas, but when you in the
Or close to the
US,
border. Yes, when I'm in the say that if I travel a little bit, because right now I'm in the South. So in the South, it's like a lot of the Mexican
mhm,
culture, Mexican restaurants. So anytime we go out and eat there, I'll have a margarita or whatnot. But if we are eating a burger or fries, I typically will get a beer, like an IPA or something like that. And then if, I'm traveling to any events in the US and say that we go out and we're sitting at a bar or something, I will drink an old fashioned, just to relax. I think that drink very slow, very strong, so it lasts me a long time. If we're having a conversation like this, if we're chatting, I will hold that and babysit that in my hands for a while.
I feel like people tend to drink certain drinks with whatever they're eating, like whatever
Yes.
type of food they're eating, they will have their go-to drinks.
Yes.
That
Oh,
sounds like
yes.
it for you as well, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. If we're just socializing chips and salsa, chips and guac, it's always going to be margarita
Yum. I mean,
on the rocks.
I'm not saying yum for the margarita because again, but salsa and
Mhm.
chips and guacamole right now sounds extremely good. I'm
Right?
hitting forward with that right
Well, next
now.
time that we do a stream, we should do like a wow stream or something and, have everybody bring their chips, salsas, guac or something, and we can
Yes.
crunch while people are watching us eat and crunch in their ears.
Yes, absolutely. Especially because I haven't eaten much today, working nonstop. So, yes, bring the nachos, guacamoles. I love Mexican food. I really do love
The
Mexican food.
burritos. If you guys are ever by the border, I am going to invite you guys to some amazing restaurants. Sometimes we cross the border and go to some Mexican restaurants over there, and they are freaking amazing. Like for $15 or whatever, there's this really fancy restaurant. It's like a buffet, and the food is to die for. It is amazing.
She's in Arizona, Christy.
Yes. I'm in Arizona. Oh, I'm in Arizona, Christy, and I'm literally 60 miles from the Tucson, Arizona. So if you go south, I'm in a little town outside of Nogales, Arizona. So I'm in Rio Rico, and then the border town to Mexico is Nogales. So I'm literally 17 minutes from the border.
Gosh, now he Leslie, that's not fair. Now you're gonna make me want to order Mexican food. That's on you. I'm blaming you.
V, yes, and take a picture and show us. I want to see your food. I need to go get some food too. I haven't eaten. You and Ivy are the same. My sister gets mad at me because she's like, "You'll work all day and then I get home, what you eat?" I'm like, "I haven't eaten yet, sister."
Yeah, I'm the same. I eat nuts in the morning, and my team makes fun of me because I will have a bag of nuts with me at all times. But then after that, I never know when is going to be my next meal, and usually it's
Don't you
late at
don't you feel too like if you eat, say that you have a good breakfast meal or lunch, it's kind of like you're done.
Oh, yes,
I
absolutely.
feel like I don't function if I have a good or a heavy meal.
Oh, I will go to bed right away if I have a big, heavy meal. And I'm not a big
Mhm.
eater. So if I overeat, I am straight, like, sleepy, straight. I can't
Yes,
function. I can't work. I can't do anything. So it doesn't work for me to have a heavy, heavy meals, unless it's like, a Thanksgiving or a Christmas or my birthday, in which case, you know.
you have to have it. That's I am the same way, and I told my sister the other day because she got after me, and I said, "Do you know that we were actually designed to consume one meal a day?" I said, "So I choose to consume it after work." She's like, "You're so full of it, Les." She's like, "You need to eat," and I'm like, "I will, I will." I'm like, and she bought a whole bag of pistachios and other stuff to snack
You
on,
know,
but I'm like,
actually, it's good that you're bringing that up. I always wondered because you see both arguments, right? You see people that say, I have had doctors telling me, oh, it's good that you don't eat so much, but you eat throughout the day, small quantities.
mhm.
So at least you don't overeat. But at the same time, as you said, there's this other school of thoughts that says that you should only eat one meal, but then you tend to overeat because you're starving. So I don't know which one is the best.
I don't know either. I think sometimes when I eat like the little meals in between, I feel like I gain more weight than when I just like snack on a little bit of peanuts or whatnot and then eat like a meal, which yes, sometimes I do tend to, I feel like I overeat, but I feel like I lose more weight like that than I don't know. I'm just so confused, V, when it comes to the eating cycle stuff.
I'm confused too. Don't worry, it makes both of us.
I'm like,
We
but what I do works for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but for me, it works.
Yeah, I guess Jillian is right as well. It depends on your metabolism. It will be
Yes.
interesting to make a test and understand what works for each of us.
A case study for the women, right? Just ask them a
Yes.
whole bunch of questions and see what they say.
Yeah, but
Uh,
we have to include Mexican food in that. That's just
oh my God.
a
We
go-to.
should do the study and ask questions while we're eating. Some burrito, tacos, chips, salsa, queso, guacamole.
Chips. It's so funny because I was raised and grew up in Monaco, which is
Mhm.
near in between France and Italy. And we had one Mexican restaurant. It's a very small place. It's smaller than Central Park. But we had a lot of restaurants, but only one Mexican restaurant. And it was a kind of a treat. Not kind of, it was a real treat every time my mom will take us there. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
just because for us it was such an exotic cuisine because obviously in Europe, it's far from Mexico. I then now like every time that I eat Mexican food, I just have so much respect for it. I still
That
see it as like
feeling, the memories. Do
yeah,
you
I
go back home and visit Morocco a lot? I would love to go.
it's not Morocco, it's Monaco.
Monaco. There you go,
It's
sorry.
Monte Carlo where there are casinos and things like that. I
Interesting.
do I do go back often, usually once or twice a year. But my family comes to see me here as well. Um, I wish I could go back more often because it's now, As much as I used to hate it when I was a kid because it was too small, um, now that I've lived elsewhere, I'm thinking to myself, wow, people are right. It is such an amazing place.
You appreciate, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, Bad
absolutely.
Bunny wrote a song and named it Monaco.
Oh, oh yes, you're right. Actually, you're right. But you know what? Besides the fact that is a gorgeous place, the cleanest place you probably find, it is free of tax. And that is the thing that I
Really?
miss the most is that we pay no tax. Zero.
Wait.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need
And
to go move to a country that I pay no taxes.
I think isn't it Dubai that is close to zero as well? Do they pay taxes in Dubai? But because I've had a lot of people that I know that have moved to Dubai, investors.
I don't think so. And then you can do, I think Dubai, somebody told me it's a lot more conducive to people building,
Mm,
especially if they're building in crypto as well. I think that's why a lot of them are moving over there. And I'm like, that is very interesting. I haven't been to Dubai. I was supposed to go last year as well. I've only been to like Singapore, Mexico, Puerto Rico, that is completely a little bit far away from here, but I want to travel more this year,
I mean,
hopefully.
Singapore is amazing.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yes.
It's great. It's great. I mean, Singapore is amazing. I prefer Singapore than Dubai, even though Dubai is pretty unique as well. But Singapore, what was your favorite trip?
I think my favorite trip, I would say I love Singapore, but when I went to Puerto Rico and because it was in business, I went with girls just to have a good time. I always say that I'm a fish because I love to be in the ocean.
Mhm.
And I even got sunburned. I got what is it called? Sun fever or something like that because I would not get out of the water. It's like you throw me in the water in the ocean and I am there and it's very difficult to get me out.
Oh, I'm completely the same. Growing up near the water, it's hard for me to get out. It's just it feels safe for me. It feels like home.
Oh
Um,
my God, isn't it beautiful? What's your favorite place to travel?
I think I
Or that
have.
you've been, besides your home?
Oh, I have a couple. I've been on round the world trip by myself when I was younger. So I've seen a lot of places. I've been lucky to see a lot of places. I think instead in terms of aesthetic, Fiji, hands down. It's
Oh,
like the
really?
postcard. Yeah, I mean, it's just perfection. Like literally, you look at the postcard of Fiji, that's what it is. Beautiful. In terms of culture, Cambodia was very exciting, and it was before all the tourism and things like that. The culture was just so, I don't know. There's something about the Buddhism, the Buddhist, and there are very welcoming, and they don't have much over there, but they are happy. And I think there's a big learning for us Westerners that have so much and are still not happy with what we have. And I'm including
I
myself in
appreciate
that,
it.
right?
Yeah.
So that was in terms of culture. But there are so many countries that, Singapore was an amazing one as well. I really loved. And okay, well, I have to say, I'm a massive fan of Lord of the Rings. So going to New Zealand and touring the movie set was one of a kind experience. I cried. So it
Oh
was really
my gosh.
it was really something. What about
Oh my
what would be the next trip you will take?
Well, outside of the US, I really want to go to Dubai. Like, but if it was just for fun, I think I want to go to Switzerland. I don't know why.
Geneva, like which side? German side, Italian side, or French side?
I think I would say probably Geneva. And then I want to go visit and see the pyramids because I think there's
Ah,
like a portal
yes.
somewhere around there. And I want to go because I'm also kind of a conspiracy theorist and I want to kind of go investigate.
Please take us with you.
What if we
Please.
disappear? What if we find the portal? The crazy thing is that I live in Arizona, the mountains. So going north, close to like towards Vegas, they say that there's actually portals and there's these places in the mountains here in Arizona that if you start traveling and start researching and start going down this path, out of nowhere there's military guards that'll come out and be like, no, you don't belong here. And I was like, wait, do these portals connect to the portals in Egypt, or what happens? So I don't know. I'm just trying to put the pieces together of it all and maybe make my way to these mountains that they're going to kick me out eventually. But
You should do.
anybody up for an adventure, you're more than welcome to come with me. Christy's saying, what about a meetup in Dubai? Jillian saying she has a house in Puerto Rico. We can maybe meet up because I want to get more involved with WoW. And if more people want to get involved, then maybe we can have like a fun meetup. I guess.
We should definitely have a fun meetup. We are planning to be at ETH Denver, a consensus Hong Kong, if you're around,
Oh,
and
Hong
in
Kong.
Miami as well. So we should do something.
I going to make it a point to absolutely try to come to Denver because I did promise Christy, what were we gonna film? We were gonna film something funny. I don't remember. I need to go back and look at the notes and the live stream because I think we wanted to do something funny and film and just bring more visibility. And I was like, oh, that would be fun.
Oh, I'm all about fun. You guys,
Yeah.
you guys, Julian, Christy, you guys brainstorm, come up with something fun because my ideas are boring usually. You guys are fun, um, and then we can do something.
And then we will all tackle it together. But B, I know I've already kept you for 2 hours. I cannot believe time went by so
2 hours,
fast. I
right?
2 hours. I think we could probably, girls,
Oh
not
yeah.
we could probably go a little bit longer.
Oh yes. We can talk forever. But
Yes,
tacos are waiting. Mexican food is waiting for me right now.
yes, yes, yes. Get some Mexican food. And V, I want to end this by saying thank you, not just for the work that you do, but for how you do it, how inspiring you are, how beautiful of a person you are, inside out. And in this space where everything moves fast, we forget how quickly I'm like lost for words, it's like we forget people quickly and we forget a lot of things, and you've chosen to stay steady. You're leading with clarity instead of noise. You're building wow with intention even when it's uncomfortable, and you're coming and picking up where there wasn't any visibility, and you're bringing visibility. You're bringing something special. You're building a legacy, and what you've shared tonight, from your struggles and how humble and open you are. I just want to say thank you. You are the type of leader, CEO, that we can all look up and aspire to be. So I am so blessed. And thank you for being gracious. And thank you for coming on. And thank you for being my first guest of
Woo!
2026.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much for the kind words. It was a pleasure. I don't think I've gone on a stream for that long, honestly. So I liked it as much as you did. So thank you so much for
I
having
loved
me.
it.
And I hope this is the first of many.
Oh, absolutely. I am going to have the team back. I'm going to have you back. Wow. I want to collaborate. I want to do more things with you all and, check in with you a few months down the road and see where you guys are at, what you're doing. And of course, doing things in person too when we go to events and creating content and, bringing more visibility to World of Women.
That sounds great. And then maybe we can go visit the pyramids together and do a little documentary about portals.
Yes, do something completely out of our routine. I would love that so much.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Leslie. Have a good night.
You too, V. Thank you. And bye, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us. Everybody, remember, go out there and stay unscripted and be big. Thank you, V,
Thank you,
again.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.